Hello, brothers and sisters. I just wish to show you a couple of minutes off of this fascinating video, okay? This woman here is Edna Register Boone. There's her name, Edna Register Boone. And she is a survivor of the 1918 Spanish flu, the influenza pandemic survivor interview, Mrs. Edna Register Boone. Now, her family were Christians. Okay, she is a 100-year-old resident of Mobile, Alabama. Tells how her family was the only family, listen to this, the only family in a small rural Alabama area that did not get the flu during the 1918 outbreak. You know, that outbreak killed, I believe it was like 50 million people, something like that. Okay, Mrs. Boone's family all became responders in her community. Her parents became instant nurses, and she delivered soup to the door of ill families. Now, I'm going to leave the link in case you would like to watch this. I'm not going to play the whole thing in the interest of saving time. I'm just going to play a couple of minutes of it. But yeah, she was 10 years old. She was only 10 years old, and her mother, they were a Christian family, as I said. Her mother would make these huge pots of soup. And at 10 years old, she put a gauze mask on Edna and sent her around to the homes of the sick people and to bring them soup. She brought them soup. So, okay, let's listen to just like 2 or 3 minutes of this I wanted to play. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go now. Okay.
Caused by the Asian flu. It was prevalent. The greatest problem, of course, was getting medication. Only had one doctor, Dr. Andrus, a wonderful man. He did the best he could. We had no penicillin, no sulfa, nothing.
No
to
medicines.
That dreadful
They had no
disease.
medicines.
Of course, there was wagon loads of sick people lined up at his front door all the time. If you loaded a sick person whom you could no longer help and put them in a wagon, which is what most transportation was, put them in that vehicle and take them to Dothan, to a hospital, that chances are that patient would be dead when they got there. Okay, if it wasn't, there would be no room. The rooms would be filled. The doctors would be worked to capacity. That's why most families just buried their own dead. The flu itself, the so-called, I think they called it the Asian flu, affected the throat and the windpipe and chest, and lack of medication. We had a little drugstore, and he had a pharmacist, a hired pharmacist, but he could only supply Paragard or maybe mentholatum, or I don't know what kind of ointments they put on their chests, but that's about all there was. And my mother's would take a half a teaspoonful of soda and put it in a glass of water for each of us, my twin brothers, and for me.
Okay, let's hold it right there. She said her family took a half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water. And I'm not handing out medical advice. I am not. But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to start doing that. You know, it balances the body, it alkalinizes the body, and then you can't catch this stuff that's going around. And I think I'm going to start doing it on the days that I need to go out somewhere. I think I'm going to do it. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do it. I'm not qualified to medically advise nobody. But if you do decide to do it, I have read that you should do it on an empty stomach. And she's saying half a teaspoon in a glass of water. Make sure it's a full glass of water. I think I might do like 1/4 of a teaspoon in a glass of water on the days I need to go out somewhere. And you know, it's up to you whether you want to do that or not. Hers was the only family that survived. I think it's due to 2 things. First of all, they were Christians. Okay, they were good Christians. And then the second thing I believe was because she did take the baking soda. But I'm going to do it on an empty stomach on the days when I go out. I'm going to start taking it, and I'm not telling you to take it. You know, that's up to you what you want to do. It's your body, it's your health. But so let me put that disclaimer out there. I'm not a medically qualified to tell you to do anything, okay? But I just want to note here that they're the only family that survived, and they were Christians, and they took the baking soda. Okay, let's continue just for 1 more minute.
And we would drink that before breakfast.
Oh, they took it before breakfast. I've heard that you should take it on an empty stomach. I don't know why they took it before breakfast, but that's what I have read, is you should take it on an empty stomach. So for me, I'm going to take it the night before. You know, when you've done all your eating and you've finished your dinner and you're done with your eating for the evening, that's when I'm going to take it, because you should take it on an empty stomach. You know, it makes your stomach gassy and all, so you need to take it and make sure you're on an empty stomach. But let me go ahead.
I've often thought that that's what saved us. She said that soda would neutralize the system.
There you go.
And we would be less subject to pick up the germ.
That's true.
It must have worked. Because we were the only entire family that escaped having that dreadful flu. It was my job as a 10-year-old to take food to people, to families that were all of them stricken.
Okay, I'd like to finish this, but it's getting too long. I don't like to do real long videos, I just don't. But I'll leave the link in the description box. Guys, I'm not trying to promote fear. Okay, I'm just showing this video for the purposes of letting you know about what this person's experience was. And but I have been like studying this coronavirus for a few days now. They are vastly downplaying the numbers, okay? Vastly downplaying them. And I heard, you know, don't listen to our news in the United States. They don't tell you anything. I've been watching some BBC news and, you know, other news sources. And I found out that the United States has not prepared test kits. The reason our numbers are so low is because they're not testing hardly anyone. Okay, I read a comment by a New York City emergency room doctor, and he said that he had to beg them to let him test someone. He had to beg them. And the situation is ridiculous. They do not have enough test kits, therefore they can't test the people. The people are not getting tested. And that's why our numbers are so low. I tell you, from the things I've learned, and I've been listening to Dr. John Campbell and, you know, a couple of, he's like a famous doctor. He wrote textbooks for medical students and he taught nurses. He's retired now and he's really been studying this. But I found out some things. I'll do another video video on it because I'm already at 10 minutes here, but I can tell you right now, they are not testing people. That's the only reason our numbers are as low as they are. Okay, but don't panic. Trust in Jesus. This lady here's family survived. They were good Christians. They tried to help others. And she took her baking soda. But now I sound like I'm promoting that too much, and I'm sorry. Because like I said, that's totally up to you. You know, if you have any concerns about it, ask your doctor if it's okay for you to do that, if you have concerns about it. But baking soda is indeed good for many, many things. Okay, acid indigestion, all kinds of other things. I could say more, but I won't. Okay, I'm just going to end this here right now. God bless you guys. And don't fear, no fear in Jesus. Rely on Psalm 91. No plague shall come nigh my dwelling. And do as the Lord Jesus Christ leads you to. And trust in Him. Okay, because you are divinely protected ultimately. Okay, I love you guys. God bless.